Welcome back, everybody. Matt, the man here. Hope you're doing well. So this past Sunday was the 20th anniversary of Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. I don't know, 20 years? Really? 20? I really am starting to feel old. Between this year's anniversaries and what's coming in 2024 with anniversaries, I'm old. I'm Spider-Man 2 is going to be 20 years old next year. Getting back to Lord of the Rings. Um, this is a movie that also won every Academy Award that it was nominated for that year, including Best Picture, Best Director. There was even talk at one point that maybe Sean Astin was going to get some much-deserved supporting actor nomination, but he didn't. That was a real bummer. Now, I think if he was nominated, I don't think he would have won. That would have went to Tim Robbins that year for Mystic River. Now that would have been the only Oscar nomination that it wouldn't have won if he didn't get nominated. But this is an achievement beyond anything. I mean, a 3 hour and 20-minute movie that for the most part goes by real quick. Other than maybe that last 15 minutes with all the the multiple endings that I'll get to that down the road. The performances are still top notch. Viggo Mortensen, Elijah Woods, I think Sean Astin really got to perform in this one. Ian McKellen, um, King Theoden, Bernard Hill, Miranda Otto, Erwin. She really stepped up in this one. I mean, all across the board, the acting was unbelievable. Golem, once again, returns. Um, once again, the CGI in this movie, even 20 years later, and I did go back on Sunday and watch this again. And last week I did watch the first two Lord of the Rings last week. But still, the CGI, 20 years later, still holds up. When you compare the CGI of this movie, or any Lord of the Rings movie, other than maybe the first one with the troll in the Mines of Moria, that does look a little dated. But that one moment, one scene in this entire trilogy that is now over 20 years old, the CGI still looks better and still holds up better than the movies that are coming out today. CGI. You look at The Flash, you look at Transformers, you look at Ant-Man 3, you even look at Doctor Strange 2 last year. Rather than the big budget Shazam, the big budgeted blockbuster Indiana Jones, the CGI today, for some reason, looks way worse than the CGI over 20 years ago. In movies like this, in movies like Pirates of the Caribbean with Davy Jones, the CGI still looks 100% better over 20 years ago. The battle of Pelennor Fields is still one of the best battle sequences in all of film history. You got the battle, even the battle before that with Faramir going to try and win this battle, which he's not going to win, to impress his father, Denethor. And they end up losing, but we have the scene where Pittman gives that song, and that to me is still one of the best moments of this movie. Pittman singing while we see the battle as Faramir and his men are riding the battle, and the orcs are setting up and ready to go. And we just hear Pittman give that song, and we don't see the battle. We just see Denethor eat a cherry, and it pops, and you just see the juices go down his chin. And we know exactly what happened in that battle, without showing the battle. It's still one of my favorite scenes of all time, is the scene with Gandalf and Pippin sitting down on a bench, and Pippin just asking about, death, dying, the Grey Havens. And it is one of those moments, it is a great scene. I mean, they're just talking about death. And you got the Grey Havens score, ratcheting up. It's a beautifully shot composition. The sun beaming on them. And then I think Pittman runs off and there's just Gandalf sitting on that bench with like the light hitting him. And it is a beautiful shot. Probably one of my favorite shots in the whole movie. It's a quieter scene and just a moment between all this action, all this chaos. But then and that's the great thing about this movie. Even with all this stuff going on, we still have those moments of quiet, of character moments. The scene with Gandalf and Pittman. We got the scene with Merry and Pittman reuniting. Or when Eowyn and Theoden's dying and they're looking at Eowyn, talking to her. I think we got a lot of Frodo and Sam moments. Then of course, like I think you still got the Battle of Pelennor Fields. That's epic. The elephants charging in, and as the camera zooms in, as we start to see the elephants come up closer and closer. You got Shelob, the spider sequence with Frodo. That, if you hate spiders, that is like the scariest moment in any movie. It looks great. It's scary. It keeps you on edge. Like it, Frodo and Sam going up to Mount Doom with the fire and the lava. We have that great moment. Come on, Mr. Frodo. I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you. And he throws him over his shoulder, and he starts going up the mountain. And you got once again, you got the music racketing up. Yes. Then you got the scene after they throw the ring in the fire. They get out, the lava, everything's collapsing. They jump on that rock. And then they're just sitting there talking. As, the lava's flowing down. And, Sam says to Frodo, "You remember the Shire, Mr. Frodo? It will be spring soon. And the trees will be in blossom." And it's just like, you're happy, but you're also almost crying in that moment. It's like, yeah, this is not only a bro moment, but it's also like, they did it, they got rid of the ring, but they don't know if they're going to survive. This is like their last moment, and it's like, oh, I'm not crying, you're crying. Like, when they get to Blackgate, Aragorn and all the men, Gandalf, and, we get that Aragorn speech. "I see in your eyes the same fight, but it is not this day. This day, we fight." And then, right before they start charging, he turned and looked at everyone. Gandalf and then Legolas, "For Frodo." And then he just starts charging. Then Merry and Pittman, after Aragorn runs, you just see the two little hobbits running down the field. And it's just, as soon as he says for Frodo, you're like, I mean, you're just like, they're all gonna die, but everything's coming off a huge battle to begin with. And it's just that, man moment. Music, the Grey Haven song, when the Eagles come and save Frodo and Sam. Great music throughout this whole movie. The music in The Lord of the Rings in general is beyond brilliant. I mean, I can put that music. In fact, the Grey Haven song, the song Grey Havens, I literally used in my lacrosse video back in high school at the very beginning when the lacrosse players are getting their rings at their ring ceremony. Lord of the Rings, ring ceremony. Hey, he must be a smart guy. The multiple endings. Back in the day when I would watch this on DVD, I would always pause right when those multiple endings started happening. And I realized it was exactly at the 3-hour mark of the movie. The movie's 3 hours and 20 minutes total. And it was a good 15 minutes of multiple endings. Now, how do I feel about those multiple endings? Number one, as a trilogy, wrapping up everyone's story, yes, you have to. Aragorn getting the crown, the king, that's a must. Them bowing down to the Hobbit, or the Hobbits bowing down to him, and he's, my friends, you bow to no one. That's another. The Hobbits go back to the Shire. Okay, they gotta return home. Obviously, the other great moment is the one where into the west, where Bilbo and Frodo and Gandalf and the elves get on the boat. That's a must moment where he hands the book to Sam. That is 100% had to happen. But there are moments like when they go to the bar and they're drinking in the Shire, or when Sam is getting married. I say, you gotta cut those. Either you leave the scene where he gets married, or then cut the scene at the last scene in the movie where we see Sam go back to the Shire and now he has kids and he walks into the Hobbit house, his little Hobbit hut, and then they end it there. No. The movie should have ended when Frodo gets on the boat and the music starts to swell up and the boat starts sailing away and the screen fades to white. Man. We don't need to go back to Sam walking through his house with him kissing his wife and seeing now that he has kids. No, I'm sorry. The story started with Frodo Baggins. Frodo Baggins, that's where we open Fellowship after the prologue. Frodo Baggins sitting by the tree, laying back on the tree. That's where we see our main character. That's how we start this trilogy. It should have ended with Frodo sailing away into the west. Great song by Annie Lennox. That's why I always felt like, if anything, you should have had a scene with Legolas and Gimli going back to Rivendell and have their story conclude. We had the scene where Frodo wakes up and everyone's there. Oh, Frodo, he's awake. Aragorn, Gimli, Gandalf. But you should have ended with Frodo sailing away. And then I love the end credits. All the art drawings of each character. Even all the way back to Sean Bean from Fellowship. I always watch the end credits and I just like the music Into the West. And like I said, the artwork of the hand drawings, um, there's just something about it. I always gotta watch it, even though I don't normally watch end credits, other than for Marvel because of the post-credit themes. Um, but yeah, this is a fantastic movie. Beautiful cinematography, and once again, practical makeup, practical effects. A lot of the orcs in the battles, all people in costume and makeup, other than for the wide shots during the battles, where you see all the armies and CGI, but since it's far away, it's not as noticeable. Um, Once again, or Gondor, they tore down the structure of Helm's Deep and built Gondor onto that. I mean, they built that. I mean, some of it is CGI, but they built half of that on top of Helm's Deep. I mean, stuff like that, you just go, they don't do that anymore in movies. It's all CGI, blah, blah, blah. It's a fantastic movie. This is my favorite trilogy of all time. Also, another fun fact why this movie means so much to me is the week that I saw this movie, we were in New York or New Jersey for Christmas. Because all these movies came out the week before Christmas. And we decided to wait and see it when we went up to New Jersey to be with my grandmother and my uncles. And the week that we went and saw this movie, like I said, it was Christmas, and I got my first video camera ever. And obviously, after seeing the Lord of the Rings trilogy, getting my camera, my 2004, I started making my own videos. So I also contribute Lord of the Rings. When I saw this movie, I got my first camera ever. So that's another reason why Lord of the Rings is so dear to me. And Gladiator, The Matrix, even like Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man. Those are the movies that all came out around the same time. Harry Potter. That started shaping me into the filmmaker or wanting to make films. So yeah, this movie, like I said, I saw it, and that same week I got my my first ever video camera. So, yeah, pretty cool. Anyway, Matt the Matt here. Are you a fan of Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King? You should be.